Hey guys, welcome back. So I have got a fun new at the drugstore get ready with me video for y'all today. I've got some fun goodies in here. Mascara, liquid blushes, shadow sticks, a foundation, highlighter, lip liner, just some fun goodies. This is the end result makeup look that I ended up creating, playing with these products, so I will share thoughts along the way. And yeah, that's what we're doing. So if you're new here, my name is Leslie. Welcome. I love to do new at the drugstore videos, favorites, reviews, empties, just a lot of fun stuff here on my channel. So if you're new, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and stuck around for a while. I'd love to have you here on my channel. So yeah, we are playing with some newer drugstore goodies, doing this look. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've already applied my skincare and SPF. So I'm going to start with the Soft Glam Satin Foundation. So it says medium buildable coverage, long lasting, 1% hydrating hibiscus complex. And it says get buildable, just right coverage and a long wearing satin finish with the hydrating foundation that's anything but basic. So I got, well, I'm trying to kind of figure out my color, but I think this is the best color match for me, hopefully. 20 Light Cool. Because initially I got a neutral shade and it was still very yellow, at least the one that I got, which I think was like 13 Fair Neutral. So I just need more kind of like beige, pinky toned, so I should have gotten a cool anyway. So that's what I have. Now I have tried this and I feel like it didn't wear all that great on me. I kind of have combo skin that my forehead can get kind of oily, but then it was almost like it looked oily, but also kind of like it was separating and lifting or something. So it was almost like it was like dry in certain places. So it was just a little strange. So what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of the liquid poreless putty primer, maybe on like half of my face or something, and see if that kind of like changes how it applies, wears, because I liked how it looked like initially just applying it. But like the wear, I wasn't so sure about. It wasn't horrible, but it just, there's other things that wear better on me. And I like the liquid putty primer better than the like one in the container. Well, this is a container too, but the flat container. I like this one better. It just, I don't know, applies better. I like how it looks on skin better. And even that, I mean, I feel like that just makes a significant difference in the look on the skin. I probably should have put it on this side because this is where I have more texture. I have a blemish over here right now, so probably should have put it over here to give this side a better chance. But anyway, okay, I'm babbling. Let's use this. I like a brush, so I'm going to use the BK Beauty 106. So let's just get this opened up, get a little bit on the brush. I'm going to start with just a little bit, not very much product. And I can always go back and add more if I need more. So there's just a very tiny amount. Now I'm going to add a little bit more. As usual, I like to concentrate it in the middle of my face where I want a little bit more coverage and then just kind of blend out. I definitely like this color match. I think this is working. So just looking at it on the skin, I actually don't notice a huge difference from this side to this side. So yeah, I think this looks pretty on the skin, like as far as, you know, smooth looking, good looking on the pores and things. So I don't notice a huge difference between the two, but we'll see about wear time. I'll try to remember to make a note or something, or put in the description box or something for you guys to let you know about that. But just the look on the skin, it is very pretty. Like it just has a very skin-like look. I do feel like it, you know, kind of gets onto the skin and doesn't sit on top of the skin. I feel like it started to look that way later in the day. That's kind of what I was noticing, is that sort of like lifting or something. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I applied my eyeshadow primer and my brows, and I feel like they got a little crazy, but whatever, let's just go with it. So next I have some eyeshadow sticks. These are the L'Oreal Le Shadow Sticks. So I have 3 shades. It says rich creamy color, glides on effortlessly and evenly, easily builds and blends for smooth application. It says they're available in 8 matte and shimmer shades, so there's different color options that are either matte or shimmery, transfer and smudge resistant. So yeah, okay, so I got 3 shades, like I said. Did I say that? I got 3 shades. This first one is Twinkly Rose. Yeah, I think that's what that says. Twinkly Rose. So this is the only shimmery shade that I got. These are interesting because they almost have like a cooling feeling when you first apply them. Like, it's interesting, but then they blend very nicely. Almost to the point that if you want, like particularly this one, I noticed if I want it to be really intense in color, I don't want to do a lot of blending with it because it blends so easily. It's like it kind of just diffuses the color a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's still definitely pigmented and beautiful, but if you want it to be that metallic, I wouldn't do a ton of blending with this particular shade. But it does blend really nicely, which is something I definitely look for in a shadow stick. And the kind of cooling sensation is sort of interesting on it. This one, what is this one? Let me see if I can look up this shade name. This is another matte. I think this one is Alluring Rose. This one, Alluring Rose. Yeah, matte nude pink. This one is really pretty. This one really blends into my skin like a lot. It's very neutral looking on me. So this is almost like too light of a blending shade for me personally, but it's a really pretty kind of rosy neutral. And then this last shade that I got is Brown Bliss. Brown Bliss. This one is definitely, why did I start to blend that one? I didn't blend the other ones. It is like a rich chocolatey brown. So I think I'm gonna start with the Alluring Rose, the matte kind of mid-tone shade. So let's start with that all over my lid. And I'm just gonna blend it with my finger. So you can kind of tell as you're blending that it starts to set because it doesn't like obviously move as much once it starts to set. It gets a little bit almost tacky feeling. It's setting. I think that's pretty. I mean, that could be like a one and done shadow sort of look. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna apply this deeper shade with a brush. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of it on a brush and blend this in my outer corner and blend into my crease. That's really pretty too. I like it applied best just with my finger, but for that darker shade, I just wanted to use the tiniest little bit. So I think it does definitely work to blend with a brush too, but I think it works best to blend with your finger. And I would do one eye at a time because, you know, it is a shadow stick, so it does set down. You have a little bit more playtime with these than some others that I've tried, but still, I mean, it does set. So I would just do one eye at a time so you get the best blend. Okay, now I'm gonna use the metallic sort of shade and just put this right on the inner half or so of my lid. And I'm gonna kind of tap to keep it more intense looking. There's that. I think that's really pretty. Now I'm gonna use the deepest shade as my liner. So I'm just gonna lightly apply this. Probably get a little brush, smudge it a little bit. Lifting up the outer corners to kind of lift my eyes a little bit. I like that as kind of like a smudgy liner. That's really pretty. Yeah, so overall thoughts on those? I like them. I think if you're a shadow stick person, these seem like a good one. Good blend to them. I like the colors that I got. Those are really beautiful. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you've tried it, kind of what is your application technique? Do you pair it with something? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to know that. Okay, a mascara. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Firework Mascara. It says 360-degree lash by Lash Impact Full Flare. Super, I don't know what that says because it opened right across it, so I can't read it. Brush. Yeah, it's a washable mascara. The one that I got, I don't know if they all are, but I picked Blackest Black and it says washable. So I love the packaging on this. This is adorable. And it's like easy to hold too because there's little kind of grooves in it. So I love the packaging. Here is the applicator on it. So it is kind of a plastic sort of applicator. It has a little bit of like a bend to it. It is a gloopy sort of formula. So this is an interesting mascara. When I first got this and tried it, I was not a fan. It's a very wet mascara formula. And usually I like drier mascara formulas because I find that they can build on themselves better and give kind of better fluttery volume. So the first few days I opened this up and kind of left it sitting on the counter like this while I was doing the rest of like other parts of my makeup, like my eyes, my foundation, you know, whatever. And then when I went to use it, I liked it better. So now I'm liking this. I feel like it's just that kind of formula that needs to sort of dry out a little bit to work better. So yeah, that's a little tip on it. Maybe let it kind of dry out a little bit. So there is one very quick coat on that eye. See? It's really pretty. It's got, I would say, mainly length. That was stinky timing for my battery to die and have to be changed. But just finished one first coat on this eye. So pretty. So I was saying that I would say it is mainly separation and length, but it can build some volume after it dries out a little bit. When I first went to use it and it hadn't dried out any, I was not able to build volume with it. It was getting kind of clumpy and just like giving, you know, 2 lashes kind of a look. But now that it's dried out a little bit, it definitely can give some volume, but still it keeps that separated length look to the lashes. I would say that's kind of the main look to it. But I mean, I really actually like it a lot now. And even that first just one coat with it on that eye, so pretty. Okay, so there is that. I'd say about 2 good coats on this side, maybe 3 like not quite as intense coats on that side to kind of make them look more even. But overall, now I'm a big fan of this mascara once I kind of just let it dry out a little bit. Okay, so I applied concealer and powder. So more liquid blushes. So fun. There are lots of options now in the drugstore for liquid blushes. So I got several of these, what are these called? Sun-Kissed blush from Maybelline. So this first shade I got, I have mascara on my hand. This one is 08 Shades On. Shades On. So this one is pretty glowy and metallic looking, but it's very pretty. So there is that one. I have a mosquito bite on my hand, so don't mind that. Summer in Texas. Then I got this one, which is 02 Uptown Glow. So they had ones that were more, I think it was these. Well, no, I think it was the L'Oreal ones that I'll show you in a second. That there were like more glowy or dewy options. I tend to go for more kind of satin matte. That's very pretty, but very, very orangey peach. So there's that one. That is Uptown Glow. So yeah, I tend to go for more kind of satin matte shades as far as blush goes, because then I like to, you know, control the glow with highlighter generally, but I like all blush. Y'all know me. This one is 05 Blazing Blush. This is so pretty. So beautiful. Like a gorgeous, light, kind of baby pink. I will say these Maybelline ones, if you have found all the liquid blushes to be too pigmented, I find these to be less so. Like they're not pigmented, but it's not like you have to be as light-handed with these. I have found, at least the shades that I have, and with my skin tone, like these particular shades, I don't have to be super light-handed with them like I do some other liquid blushes, and even these L'Oreal ones that I'll show you next. So for these, it says Melt to Skin Formula, Ultra Blendable, Buildable, Glowy Sun-Kissed Cheeks, No Vacay Needed, Easy On Cheek Color for a Healthy Sun-Kissed Glow. What else? It says a natural glow and up to 12 hours of wear infused with vitamin E. This liquid blush is available in 10 multi-use shades ranging from blushing color to bronzing warmth. Yeah, and then these are the Lumi Le Liquid blushes, and it says Radiant Flush of Color, Dewy and Glowy shades. So I think both the shades that I got are dewy, I believe. And then it says Buildable and Blendable. And anything else? Looks like there's maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades. Yeah, okay. So let's look at the 2 that I got. I don't have any extra room in front of me. There's just, this is a mess in front of me. Y'all can't see, so it doesn't matter, but I'm running out of space to put things. What is this color name? Okay, yeah, the 2 shades I got are dewy. So the first one is 601 Dewy Worth It. And this one is kind of like a very neutral pinky, how would you describe that? Peachy neutral shade, and look at all this pigment. So this one is more like some of the others where you have to be just really light-handed with it It's just super pigmented. Still beautiful. I like both of these. It's just kind of different application technique because this one has so much pigment. This one is more just like glowy. You'll see when I go to apply it. This one is Dewy Bright Pink. This one I really like. If I had to choose between the two, Dewy Bright Pink is my favorite. It's a beautiful bright pink shade. So there's that one. Also pretty. I love a blushy cheek. I'm gonna start with this glowy, bronzy looking one from Maybelline in Shades On. Let me get I'm gonna use a small stipple brush to blend this. So, gonna get some of this. At first, when I tried this, I was like, oh dear, this is way too glowy. But actually, after I got it blended in, I think it's very pretty. Isn't that so pretty? It's beautiful. And you saw that I used, you know, a fair amount of product. So it's not like you have to build it up a ton, but it's not like you have to use this little bitty tiny dot or then you've got just way too much product. You know what I mean? It's just a little different than some of the others out there right now. A little bit up on my forehead. Going over it with a little bit of, I didn't even add any powder, just using my powder brush and kind of tapping along the edges. This shocked me. Like, I didn't think this color would be one that I like, but I think this is really, really pretty. So big fan of this. Now I'm gonna use the pinky shade, and then I'm gonna go in with this one so you can kind of see how pigmented this is. We're gonna have a very blushy cheek by the time we're finished. Again, so pretty. It's got the glow to it, but still it's kind of a fine balance because sometimes when a liquid blush doesn't have enough pigment to it, you know, you kind of have to keep building and then it can almost lift your makeup underneath. I really don't find that with these. Like they still have enough pigment to them that you don't have to do a ton of building and blending, but it's just kind of like a happy medium. If you like a glowy liquid blush, these are really pretty. A little bit on my nose. So there's that. I am a big fan of these. I think they're beautiful. Now let's use a little tiny dot of the L'Oreal one in the bright pink shade, Dewy Bright Pink. See, just that tiny little dot. I mean, it is still beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I really like this one too. And honestly, they're a good combo because you can kind of get the blend with the Maybelline one, that kind of diffused look, and then you can get a little bit more pigment with this one, maybe right where you want a little bit more. You know what I mean? Just kind of like right on the blushiest area that you want the blushiest. And then blending once again, just a tiny little bit. We're gonna keep the cheeks pretty blushy because why not? That's fun. So overall, I'm a huge fan of both of these. I think they are great and I really like them paired together. And then the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Highlighter, I got the shade Champagne Glow. It says High Radiant Finish. Here is this. Let's look at a swatch. So definitely a golden kind of a highlighter. Like it's very golden looking, but it's really pretty. So let's put some of this on the high points of my cheeks. Let me go to, yeah, there we go. A little bit on the high points of my cheeks. I'm also going to put a little bit on the inner corners of my eyes. It's very pretty. I wouldn't say it's like groundbreaking or anything, but it's just a good, beautiful highlighter. Like if you're looking for a good highlighter, I think this is gorgeous. I don't think it's necessarily, you know, like I said, anything new, but it's very pretty. Going in with my small stipple brush and kind of going over that just a little bit to kind of keep the blush, you know what I mean? I like to kind of do that sometimes where you go like back and forth just a little bit. Then I'm going to put a little bit of that on the inner corners of my eyes. So for this it says buildable shine to radiant finish, heat, water, and transfer resistant, up to 24-hour wear. So maybe that's kind of the different thing about this versus some other highlighters, or the big claim on it. It's supposed to be long wearing, but really, really pretty. Okay, and then last up for lips, I got some lip liners. Let me get to that so I can read some info to you. These are the Lifter Liner lip liners. Wow, that's hard to say. It says with hyaluronic acid. It says long-lasting, smooth glide application, formula with hyaluronic acid and jojoba oil. So I got 2 shades. I got a kind of deeper shade which is Fine Line. Fine Line, this is what they look like. And they appear to be a type that you sharpen. But really pretty, like a pretty liner. So this one is Fine Line, very richly pigmented, kind of more of that creamy gel formula. And then this one I love this shade. This one is Line Leader, I believe it says. Line Leader, such a pretty shade, like a rosy shade. Ooh, I love this. So I'm gonna start with this one. Let me sharpen it. Definitely the type that you sharpen, and it really like sharpened well. So I'm gonna start with this, and then I'm gonna apply a little bit of this around the outsides of my lips for a little bit more definition. Ooh, I love that shade. Has a little bit of movement when you're first applying it, but then it kind of sets down and doesn't move after that. There is the deeper shade. I'm going to blend it a little bit more with the lighter shade. Okay, so here is the finished look. Now looking at my face right now, I feel like this might be oxidizing a little bit. So I think I will go with a lighter shade, which I believe probably the best would maybe be like 14 Fair Cool for me. So I do think that's what I'm seeing right now. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let's go through overall thoughts on these. Let me know your thoughts on this. I do think it looks really pretty on the skin when I first apply it, and really for quite a long time it does look really beautiful. What next? Okay, the liquid or the pencil shadows. I really like these two. I think they blend well. I love the shades that I got. I mean, I think this looks like a full, complete eye look. I think these are really, really beautiful. The mascara, big fan of this mascara. Once it dried out, I'm amazed at how little I liked it at first and how much I like it now. So I think that's the key with this, is let it dry out a little bit if you're like me and have the same kind of like mascara preferences. Love the liquid blushes. I'm so impressed with these. I like both of their formulas for different reasons, and then I like them together. Beautiful shades. I'm a big fan of those. I think this is pretty. I mean, I like this, but I think because I'm wowed by so many other things, this is maybe not like the most standout thing for me, but I do think it's really beautiful. I like the liners too. I don't know if I picked a favorite. Maybe the liquid blushes and maybe the mascara even. But I'm a fan of all these things. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with all of them. This one I'm still forming my thoughts on. Let me know your thoughts on them. Okay, those are my overall thoughts. I said thoughts a lot of times. Hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. Please hit a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below your thoughts on these products. I would love to hear what you think about them. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video.